Ethan? Here, I'm going to... Good morning. It's 9:01 on a Monday morning. Astros won last night. How exciting is that? So the next game, Game 6, is going to be on Tuesday. They have an opportunity to win the World Series for the second time ever. And then last time they won was in 2017. So if you were at the game, I've seen some people that are requesting, if you were at Game 1 and 2, to not go to Game 6 because they didn't end the way they were supposed to. But either way, go Astros. It's 9:01 on a Monday, and we have Joel here in studio. We're going to be chatting with him in a bit about everything that's going on with the Santa Fe Fire Department. This gentleman has been doing a lot of stuff in the community for a very long time, and we're going to be getting into that. I'm going to go ahead and switch us over onto the FM, and then we are going to get into this. So let me know in the comments if you're watching on Facebook what you got going on, if you're excited for the Astros victory last night, and if you have a prediction for the score of the game on Tuesday. So we're going to have some fun. Here we are. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Right now it is 9:02 on a Monday morning, and I have a special guest here in studio. I'm going to let him introduce himself and then maybe share a little bit about what he does here in our area. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Hey, it's good to be here.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm Joel Summerall. I'm with Santa Fe Fire and Rescue, and the reason I'm here is we're going to talk about our upcoming food drive we're having this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start around 10 o'clock. We'll go 10 to 3. Everything we collect will go back to folks in our community to help out with those that need a little help during the holiday season.
Yeah. Are you from this area?
I am. I'm from Santa Fe. I actually moved out to Santa Fe when I was a kid. I guess I was 6 years old or so, and I've been there since then.
From where? Where'd you move from?
I moved from Texas City.
Okay.
I did. I started school in Santa Fe, and I went to Santa Fe School District through 8th grade, and then I went to private school for my high school years, but I've never left. My feet are there, and I don't think I'll ever leave.
Yeah, you mentioned that you started a career in being an electrician.
I did. I started working for the school district in 25 years ago, 26 years ago. And I worked in the maintenance department for 25 years. I'm a licensed electrician. And as I told you earlier, you can teach old dog new tricks. So I went over in the technology department, and I work over in technology now. And I love it. School district's great.
I feel like they just kind of gave you that, like, hey, you're working in the technology department now, but we really need you to do both. You know how sometimes I've seen that with some of the local libraries. It's like, well, we all wear a lot of hats here. You're this librarian, but we need you to do everything.
Right. Yeah, I still get some phone calls, from the guys in the maintenance department. Hey, what about this? And
yeah,
what about that? So yeah, I still get those phone calls, and friends and family are still going to call and say, we know you were an electrician.
Yeah.
But so I don't mind that kind of stuff.
How many years have you been with Santa Fe ISD?
I've been at the school district 26 years.
So being there that long and being in the maintenance and electrician, you know how all of the stuff runs in the building. So there's probably things that only you know out of everybody there.
There's a lot there. And, with new technologies coming in, there's still a lot to learn, too. There's things that change, but, yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. I've seen a lot of changes there, and but it's all good. It's, there's a lot of, like I say, new technologies coming out, new stuff to learn, and it's always a challenge. Yeah, it keeps you motivated, keeps you going.
Yeah, so you've been at the ISD for a long time. Have you been a firefighter for longer than that? Were you a firefighter before?
I have. I've been at the fire station for 33 years. I've been a volunteer for 33 years. All of my time is here in Santa Fe. I started out it was Arcadia Volunteer Fire Department. I started out there, and we took 3 departments there in Santa Fe, the Arcadia, Algoa, and Alta Loma Volunteer Fire Department. We were all volunteers. There was a Santa Fe EMS, and we all 4 combined and joined together and made one fire department at Santa Fe Fire and Rescue.
When was that?
That was in 95. I believe that was 95 when we all became one big department.
Yeah. Whenever things like that change, I feel like that's a pretty big change. Sometimes it's not always the easiest. Was that a smooth transition?
It started off. There was you still had the hour department, or the way we
Right.
used to do it. And it was a big transition. But if you work together, you stay together, and you work for the common goal, it works out. It does work out.
Yeah. All right. So there's an event that is coming up this Saturday. Can you share what the name of that event is and what the idea behind it is?
So we call it the Fill the Fire Truck, and if we were actually filling the fire truck, we wouldn't get a whole lot in there. So we call it the Fill the Fire Truck Food Drive, and what we do is we're gonna set up in front of the old gym. They're on Highway 6. You can't miss it. Looks like the Alamo. It's 13310 Highway 6, and we'll have all the trucks out there. And what we do is we sit up and have a little camaraderie. We all sit around, and the community will come through. They'll bring canned goods, non-perishable food items, and we'll collect that. Once we fill the fire truck up, we pull it all out and we put it in the back of the pickups and haul it to where we stage everything for the sorting. And we'll just continue to fill the fire truck up and till about 3 o'clock or so. Once we do that, we will take all that the food that we collect, we'll stage it, we'll go through one by one. We'll check all the canned goods for dates, and then we'll start sorting it out by items.
All right. That seems like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but I think it's I think it's good work.
Yes. Yeah.
I do.
How long have y'all been doing this event, filling the fire truck?
I think we've been at this 7 or 8 years. We started off, we had 5 or 6 families that we did right before Thanksgiving. A couple years after that, it grew. We had 15, 20 families. After those families, it got to where it was so big, we was doing families before Thanksgiving and before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how big it's grown to. Working for the school district, what I do is I get with the counselors there at the school, and I get names and numbers from the counselors, and I give the folks a call and tell them who I am, what we're doing, and we have a little something for them for the holiday season. And we don't make a big spectacle about it. We just kind of show up at their house and unload it for them and tell them happy holidays and go on our way.
Yeah, and this year I noticed on the flyer it has Elite Care on there. They're helping out. How are they helping out this year?
Correct. Elite Care came to us and said, "Hey, look, we want to help you guys out on your food drive."
Mm-hmm.
So what they're agreeing to do is match us. From what they say, match us can for can, whatever we bring in. So we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and that's the one, I think, in League City off of I-45.
Yeah, I believe it is there in League City on 45.
Wow. So, this event, it's been taking place for 7-8 years. If I understand correctly, was this your idea to start this, fill the fire truck?
It was. It was my idea, but it's a department thing. We all come together to make it work. I just kind of had the idea one day of, I know we help people out, but let's see what we can do for them during the holiday season. Let's try to do a little bit more for them. And it's a combined effort with all of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that answer. And even when we talked about it before, it was your idea. I had somebody else tell me like, oh yeah, this was Joel's idea. Started it, and it's really cool to see something that you had, just hey, come to pass.
Yeah, it's. I'm really glad to see it go as far as it has.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it. I hope it just keeps going. Bigger and bigger.
Is this bigger than what you thought it would ever turn into?
It has got bigger. In the past couple years, we've even had some canned goods left over after providing for probably 20 to 25, maybe even 30 families. We had canned goods left over that we took to the local food pantry. His ministry's there in Santa Fe, and we provided them with quite a bit of what we didn't give out, and it was great.
Yeah. Do you have a vision for, like, even in the next couple years, if this keeps going, by the grace of God and everything, like, how big can this turn into?
It can go just as big as he wants it to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really look at that. I just go year from year, and whatever comes in, we'll make sure it goes right back out.
All right. What about being a firefighter? Like, what attracted you to being a firefighter? You've been a firefighter for a long time.
I have.
How many years? 30, 32,
I've been
33?
at 33 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know why I got into it. It was a guy years ago that just said, "Hey, why don't you come check it out?" So I did. I went down and checked it out and see what it was about. And my family, we don't have any really public servants in the family, but I got in the fire department, and my brother is a police officer up in Austin, and so we're both into the public service thing, and I enjoy it. It's never a dull moment.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Sometimes it just takes one. Like, even you see, your brother, or maybe you're a firefighter first, and you kind of inspire the next person. One thing I have noticed about firefighters is it kind of runs in the family. It's like, well, my grandpa was one. Hey, I think I'm going to try that. Like, why not? Why not give back?
Right. There's a lot of families like that have generations.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have that in our family. That was just something that I kind of, went off into myself, and my brother, same thing for him.
Yes.
But we just do the public service thing.
Yeah, and if I'm accurate on this, I think the Santa Fe Fire Department's volunteer. It's for the most part volunteer people who kind of give back, right?
Correct. We're all volunteers. We do hire some medics that work around the clock, but it's kind of hard to find all medics that will volunteer.
Right.
We do still have some volunteer medics, but most of us are all volunteers.
So I'm hoping that you have some inside information on something that kind of went down not too long ago. I think it was this summer, and there was let's just say there was something going around in Santa Fe, swinging from tree to tree, slapping kids on the head. Do you know anything about the Santa Fe monkey?
I know nothing about it.
Did y'all get calls about that? Be like, hey, there's a monkey running around Santa Fe.
Not that I know of. I know I didn't get any calls about the Santa Fe monkey.
Okay. I was hoping for a little bit more inside information than that.
No insight from me. Sorry.
But, I did enjoy, and I don't know if that's bad, but I enjoyed seeing, there was about a week where there was posts on social media and sometimes just a little bit of joking around. I feel like stuff like that kind of brought the community together. I don't know if it was real or not or what happened, but I don't know. It's just fun in a small town to see that happen still.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
It was something.
It was something. It was
something. Right now it's 9:15 a.m. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5. I'm talking to Joel Summerall. Joel, do you need any coffee or water? We just had someone come and ask at the door.
I'm actually good. I appreciate it, though.
All right. Hey, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask if you're watching on Facebook. If you are watching or on television on Channel 46 or you're listening in your car, you can send us a text, 346-704-1806. It's a Monday morning, a Monday on a Astros victory. They won last night. Did you have a chance? Have you been following any of that?
I've watched every game. Every game.
Did you have any doubt? I've seen a lot of people, after game 1 and 2, is like, oh, man.
I never had the doubt. I think when the guys had the team meeting without the coaches, I think they got in there and said, it's time to buckle down, boys, and let's do it.
Yeah. you look at these guys who have success early, and the team's relatively young, but there's some. I mean, it's a good mix, and you're just like, hey, you don't know if you'll ever get this opportunity again. You got to take advantage of it.
Right. Yeah. I think they're taking advantage of what they're doing, and I'd like to see them bring it home in 6.
Oh yeah. Take care of business.
Can't go to 7. My fingernails won't handle it anymore.
I need sleep.
Yeah.
I need sleep. Let us sleep.
Yeah.
So that's tomorrow evening.
Game 6 tomorrow evening.
So Santa Fe is going to be rooting them on. KHEA is going to be rooting them on, and I believe you are as well. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to smash the share button. Let's share this video out. Spread some positivity. There's an awesome event taking place this Saturday in Santa Fe. Joel, can you share what the fire department's doing one more time?
Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, 13310 Highway 6 in Santa Fe. We'll be in front of the old gym. If you're from Santa Fe, you know what the old gym is, the Alamo. You'll see the fire trucks out there. We'll be collecting canned goods for the community. We call it Fill the Fire Truck Food Drive event, and we're hoping that we're just going to have just a spectacular year this year.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Hey, so being in Santa Fe, we were talking a little bit about some of the stuff that's going on as far as like you mentioned like his ministries, and then I was talking about Chris, who works for the sheriff's department as well. What are some places in Santa Fe that you just enjoy? Growing up there, what are some places you want to give a shout out to that when you think of Santa Fe, you got to think of this place?
Well, when you think of Santa Fe, you have to think of the old Red Cap. Everyone went to Red Cap to get a burger. They would stay open on Friday nights late after the home football games to go get a burger at Red Cap. There's not a whole lot of businesses that's been there for
a long time.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some that I'm missing.
Yeah. One of the places that I enjoy, I believe is Cat's
Barbecue.
They can throw down there.
Cat's Barbecue can throw down.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't been by the meat market in town, you need to get by there and get you a steak sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the name of that one? Where's it at?
It's right there next to Cats. It's right in that area.
Okay. The other place I like to go is 3 Acres Food Truck Park.
3 Acres Food Truck. They have some really good food trucks out there. You can go hear some live entertainment.
They have all kinds of events there too.
Lots of events.
Yeah, like theme nights, like it's Jeep night.
Right.
I was trying to get a Santa Fe Monkey Night. I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to get a Santa Fe
Monkey Night.
No, they didn't do it. But they'll have like bounce houses. So like we were talking a bit in Anthony Macaluso, he has Rockin' Rivers Bounce House and Party Supply. So he took like 4 of his giant bounce houses out there. A couple of weekends ago, and they had a really fun time out there.
Yeah, I haven't been out there in a while. It's probably last summer that I was out there.
Mm-hmm.
We have a little a group of teachers that plays and sings, does some acoustic stuff, and they had an event out there for school district employees, and we was out there, and it was.
You played?
Well, no, I didn't get to play. I didn't get to play with them that day. But they have a little deal a little 3-piece that they do on the weekends, and they go out and make a little music.
Yeah, that's awesome. Being a firefighter for so long, what does that mean to you to be able to serve the community? What does that mean to you?
It means a lot to be able to give back. And that's pretty much what it is, giving back. A lot of people ask, how can you do that? How can you go out and do something and not get paid for it? Or, how can you go see that? Or how can you, you have to think about what you're doing. Don't try to think of it as, oh no, not again, or why do I have to do this? Think of it as you're going out there to help somebody that's in need. When they dial 911 and they call, they don't care who shows up. They don't care if you're getting paid or not. They call up knowing they need help, and we know that we're the ones that's supposed to go help them.
Yeah, and you put your life on the line every time that you go out.
Yeah, every time one of us go out, you do. There's a lot of instances where you do put your life on the line.
You don't really know what to expect either, I suppose. I mean, I don't.
No, you don't. You always have to expect the unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just have to be ready for whatever comes about.
I have to ask you about your shirt. We're talking to Joel with the Santa Fe Fire and Rescue here in Galveston County. So you got a shirt on, Santa Fe Fire and Rescue 1995. I guess that's whenever y'all kind of brought the ones together.
Correct. That's when we merged.
And it's a very nice, beautiful pink color of pink. Is there a meaning behind that?
There is a meaning behind it. If I stood up, you could see the back. We have our pink ribbons on the back. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
So every October, Santa Fe Fire and Rescue, we sport our pink shirts, and we do our part to support the breast cancer awareness.
Okay. All right. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. We were chatting for a bit before we went on, and we found out that you are in fact a DJ.
I do. I have a small DJ business there in town. JDS Sounds Mobile DJ. Little plug there. And I like to play weddings and receptions. I'll play private parties and events, and there's times I'll go and I'll do some functions. I'll put a little volunteer time in, but play a father-daughter dance every year. I play prom for some of the school districts around. I enjoy doing that too. It's fun, little something to do. Get out and just have a little fun playing music and
Cool.
meeting a lot of new people.
Cool. Hey, so here's a comment, and it's about mutual aid. What's mutual aid? Can you help me out? Is it important? Mutual
aid is kind of a I'll help you, you help me type thing. When guys we get called to go mutual aid to Alvin, to Hitchcock.
With other fire departments?
With other fire departments,
okay,
correct.
Cool.
And the EMS. The EMS will go mutual aid to other towns. If their ambulances are out on calls, our ambulance will go and provide service in their community.
So who do you have a mutual aid agreement with?
We go mutual aid wherever we're needed. Yesterday, we sent 2 trucks to League City. We sent 2 trucks over there.
That storage facility on 646.
Correct.
I drove by it, and I saw smoke, and I saw a police officer at the gate, and me and my wife, she wasn't paying attention. She was, I don't know what she was driving. And I said, look at all that smoke. And so as we're going, and then we got all the way towards I-45, and I saw, a big fire truck come, and then there was a couple of, pickup trucks.
Right. We sent 2 tanker trucks over there.
Mm-hmm.
We sent 2 tank trucks over there. From what I understand, League City, Webster, Dickinson was there. So there was quite a few mutual aid companies that came in. And, if we needed any of those guys, they'd be here.
Yeah.
All we have to do is call them. So
that's it's a good thing.
It is.
Neighbors and counties and cities helping each other.
It is. It's a big thing. And, we're always there to help each other.
All right. I have been able to attend for the past 2 years the firefighter games on 6th Street. Okay. Have you ever been out there?
Yeah, I have. In fact, I DJ'd out there a couple years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, we go out there. They do their firefighter games. It's a great deal that Tech City Fire Department puts on. I'm not sure what the dates are going to be this coming year, but I believe it's always in July. And they get together and they raise funds with United Way, the Galveston County United Way. And they do really well out there. It brings all the firemen from all over. They even have some of the fire crews from the local plants come out there. They bring teams out there. They do the fireman games, and it's fun. They have a barbecue cook-off.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to raise funds for United Way.
Yeah, at Bayou Fest that happened in Lamarck, I think it was some of the Marathon Fire Department, or it was Valero. It was one of the refineries. They're fire people, they're firefighters. And I was talking to them and just learning about the importance of what they do.
Yeah.
pretty
There's a lot to it that
Yeah.
a lot of folks don't realize.
Yeah, and you speak of mutual aid. Even yesterday, Santa Fe Fire Department going to help in League City. I feel like it's really neat. An event like the Firefighter Games allows you an opportunity to meet some of these other departments and agencies before you're working side by side. In an issue, you can kind of have some camaraderie and just, hey, I know that face, or like I saw you at the Firefighter Games, so you kind of trust.
Right.
I feel like it's important to trust the person next to you whenever you're working anywhere, but especially in an emergency. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to who you're going to be working with, but the brotherhood of it is it doesn't matter who that guy is that hunkers down with you next to you and goes to work. You got each other's back, and you're there for each other.
Okay. Right now we're talking to Joel Sumrall with Santa Fe Fire and Rescue. There's an event taking place this Saturday starting at 10 o'clock. And what's the address for that one more time?
13310 Highway 6. It's
okay.
On Highway 6 in front of the Alamo Gym.
All right. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this video out. If you have any questions, let me know. November 16th. Does that date ring a bell to you for any reason?
November 16th.
I think that there's an open house. And I'm not sure what that is, but somebody had sent me a message. What is that? What is that?
November 16th. We do have an open house at the fire station. We're asking just whoever wants to come out, come check out the fire trucks, come check out the station. You can come by and get you a little barbecue. This year we're not going to have our annual barbecue that we normally have, but don't get discouraged. If you want some of that good barbecue, you can come out. Believe it or not, we're not going to charge you for that barbecue, but we will take your donation for it. And it's going to be our open house this year. It's something new that we're going to do this year, and I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a really good thing.
Who's all invited?
If you're in listening distance from where we're at right now, you are invited.
So anybody can come.
That wants to come by, you come on.
Is that an opportunity that y'all are hoping just to meet the community or like recruit potential firefighters?
Yeah. If you're interested in becoming a fireman, you can definitely get information that day. Or if you're just interested in coming out, helping do stuff around the station, if you want to do that. There's people who they don't necessarily want to get into the firefighting aspect of it or any of that. It's always good to have people that want to come around and just help out, just do things. We have some people that come out that only come out for to help out at the barbecues.
To help eat it.
That too. And we have some people that come out and do fill the fire truck with us. They don't want to do the firefighting part. They just want to help out the way they can.
That's important too.
It's all important.
Yeah. Is it easy or difficult to keep firefighters recruited?
It is. It's kind of tough to tell a guy, hey, we want you to give of yourself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Oh, but we're not going to pay you either. So, it is kind of tough. Now, once you meet the requirements, there is a pension that we get, the department pays into. So you will get a pension out of it, which is a good thing. It's a way that, you'll get something back out of it.
Whenever I was, pretty young, we lived in Angleton, and my dad was a volunteer firefighter over there. But this was way before cell phones. I mean, probably early 90s. I remember he had a pager, and he would get the page and be like, hey, I got to go. I'm like, what are you doing? Firefighter. But I remember he had his badge, and I just thought it was the coolest thing because he was like a real-life superhero.
Real-life superhero, A lot of people say it is, and it is what it is. But, superhero or not, it's just something that has to be done.
How do they get a hold? Just like call? Do they send you a text now?
No,
the beeper's gone.
We have.
Do you also have beepers?
We still have the beepers.
Hey,
okay. We got one of these.
All right, that's like. Can I see that?
Still got the pagers.
Ethan, have you ever seen one of these?
Push the button. Push the button in the middle.
Take it. I don't know. They're trying to track you down. Like, Joel, we got a situation. We need you. So look, Ethan, this is a pager. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these, but everybody used to have these.
We still have the pagers. Now with today's technology, there's still more technology coming out. There's other ways that we get our calls now. We can get them to our cell phones. In fact, I get it to my cell phone in two different ways.
Yeah.
To the cell phone and to the pager still.
Okay, cool. So whenever you are joining the Santa Fe Fire and Rescue team, do you still have to go through fire school? It's like the whole full thing?
Yeah, there is some training that you get sent to. It's weeknight training. It's a couple nights a week, and then there's some Saturday training that you'll go to. Once you get finished with that training, you will actually have a basic certification that you've acquired after that training.
Okay, and then once you have that, then you're able to go out and help and do everything.
Yeah. You can, and you'll still do some on the job stuff at the station. You'll get your bunker gear. You'll do drills at the station on top of the classes that you'll be taking as far as your certification goes too.
Mm-hmm. Who's the current fire chief out there?
Fire chief is Tommy Anderson. Tommy's been there for many years. Tommy started out in the Alta Loma Volunteer Fire Department, one of the three, or I'll say four departments that combined together in '95. He was the fire chief of Alta Loma Volunteer Fire Department, and once we merged, he was voted in as chief of the Santa Fe Fire and Rescue, and he's been the chief of Santa Fe Fire and Rescue since '95.
Okay. What were the four again? Did you say it was Algoa?
We had Algoa Volunteer Fire Department. It was our KHEA Volunteer Fire Department, the Alta Loma Volunteer Fire Department, and then there was the Santa Fe EMS.
Okay.
The EMS.
So like the three A's. That all kind of sounds similar
Right.
to Santa Fe EMS.
Right.
Okay. It tripped me up. All right, this is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. Right now it's 9:33. We're going to keep it going on Facebook. We're going to take a short break on the FM. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. If you're watching on Facebook, share this video out. Let's spread some positivity today, and let's fill the fire truck this Saturday. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. All right, so we're still on Facebook Live. Here's a comment from John Gardner. He said, I've known Joel for many years, with many other members, and I have to say they're top notch. I've had to use them myself.
Oh, I know John Gardner. I do. I do. In fact, I remember going to his place.
Mm-hmm.
His daughter, younger daughter, was at home by herself, and they had a call at the house, and we got there before Dad showed up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything really bad, but yeah, we went and did what we had to do.
So what are some things that people maybe aren't as careful as they should be with? What are some general like safety? Because right now you're thinking like, oh, it's kind of, the weather, it's going to be fall. I know summer, like if it's dry, it's like, oh, burn bans and people will get mad about it. What are some general fire safety things that people should be still paying close attention to for this time of year?
With this time of the year, holiday season, there's going to be a lot of cooking. So, there's cooking emergencies. People need to think about their stoves. And then with the Christmas season,
I think of lights, electric stuff
people
plugged
will be, putting their trees up in their house. Keep your trees watered if you use a live Christmas tree. Keep them watered. Try to keep them moist. Keep them from drying out. You don't want to overload some circuits with your lighting. That's something else to think about. Even with the dry weather, some things that a lot of people don't think about when you go to pump gas, when you're going to put gas in your vehicle. With the dry weather, low humidity, you're going to have static electricity. So when you get out, I always make it a habit to reach over and kind of hit the side of my truck.
Yeah.
Touch something metal before I reach over and start pumping gas in your vehicle.
I mean, what can that do? Like you said, like static can just cause like a little spark right there.
Static electricity will cause a spark. It'll catch the fumes, and you can YouTube it. There's a lot of videos out there that'll show static electricity, what it can do.
Have you seen firsthand a fire tree, not a fire tree, like a Christmas tree, just catch on fire? I've seen it on YouTube before.
Actually, it's funny you asked that because one year I did a little experiment myself. After Christmas, I took my tree out, set it up in my yard, and I put a match to the bottom of it and timed it. 13 seconds.
13 seconds.
From the bottom to the top, it was gone. 13 seconds.
Ethan, have you ever seen that? A Christmas tree go? It's just make a mental note and Google that later. A Christmas tree, just like poof, it goes up. It's crazy.
It goes quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
It seems like sometimes people maybe do it for fun on purpose. Like just like
I guess that's just kind of what you can say I did. But
experimenting purposes as a professional as well.
Back when I did it, the YouTube thing wasn't as big, so maybe I'll do it again this year.
There you go. Lights. Let's talk focus on lights, like electrical cords. You mentioned like overloading circuits. There's a lot of like LED lights out now, but sometimes you don't. Like I don't know, is there one that's better, or like what's a tip?
The LED lights draw less power, so using the LEDs is probably the better way to go. When you get into some of the older lights, you'll want to check the cords that you use. Make sure there's no frays, no damage in them.
Yeah.
The actual string of lights themselves, make sure there's no frays or damage to them. No busted bulbs. If the glass busts on the bulb, it'll leave the exposed element inside. It'll leave that exposed, which is actually a shock hazard.
Mm-hmm. So last night, Joshua Rudolph, he's one of the pastors here. He was talking about Halloween and being a kid growing up. He said, man, people didn't like decorate like they do now. And I remember this as a kid. They used to rake all the leaves and then get a big bag with like a jack-o'-lantern face on it. And then you just like leave it in. And that might have been the people that decorated their house for Halloween. That was it.
Right.
Now you drive around a neighborhood and there's like electronic, like blowed up things, all just a bunch of stuff. So even if you think of Christmas lights, but now it's like every holiday people are gonna have like blow ups and
they put the blow ups in the yard, and I mean they even put their orange lights up. I guess when after Halloween's gone by, they'll start getting ready to put their other Christmas lights up.
Yeah. So it's not just a Christmas thing. Always make sure that you have, check your power cords, check your lights, even today, if you have some decorations out.
Correct. And anything that's outside should be GFI protected, which is ground fault protected, which protects anyone that comes in contact with it.
Does that mean it shuts off, like if something happens?
Yeah, it'll detect if there's a short, and it will actually trip the receptacle or the breaker itself. That it saves lives.
Yeah, I had that happen on not last year, but the year before Christmas. So we had Christmas lights on my house, and then they make these things that throw like stars and shapes, and one kept going out. Well, and it kind of got on my nerves, but I guess there's a good reason it was. I don't know. It's doing it for safety the way it was designed or something. I'm like,
maybe it had something built into it to protect it.
Yeah, and then I just have to hit the button and be like, stay on.
Yeah,
but
that's your protection there.
All right. Hey, what's up, Chris? He said, hey guys, good morning. Looking good, Joel. D. Summerall. What's your middle name?
Dwayne.
That's a good one. So Chris is in Dallas. He's a volunteer firefighter. He's with Santa Fe Water Services. He's just a good, Santa Fe resident, guy through and through.
Known Chris for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Santa Fe Water Services came and got me running at my place.
All right. Yeah.
And got me hooked up and going. What's up, Chris?
Yeah. So I met Chris through Anthony Macaluso, and I believe I met Anthony because we have a mutual friend from Santa Fe as well, Cheveria, and he's done some stuff with UPW Wrestling, which is coming back to Santa Fe next month, if I understand correctly. I had the opportunity to go watch UPW in Santa Fe like 2 months ago, and it was awesome. It was at one of the gyms, and so I think November, it's in November, like mid-November. It may be the same day as the open house, like that night, November 16th.
Maybe.
Yeah, and it's going to be over there again, so fun times. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. And now that I'm a with KHEA, a lot of people will reach out and be like, "Hey," I'm like, "I didn't even know all this stuff was here."
Yeah. That's myself. I didn't know about the KHEA radio.
Until Chris spreading the good news.
Chris spreading the good news.
Appreciate you, Chris. All right, so we'll go back on the FM here. I think we'll play like one more. There's a short spot after this song, but we're talking to Joel. He's with the Santa Fe Fire and Rescue Department for 33 years. That it seems like a long time. Does it go by really quick?
It seems like it did go by pretty quick. Once I sit and start thinking about, everything that I've done, everything that I've seen, it's kind of hard to believe it's went that quick.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like it's just been a blink of an eye, and the years passed.
Wow.
Lot of jumping up in the middle of the night, and a lot of times sitting at the dinner table with my family, and you have to look at him and say, "I'm sorry, I've got to go," and that's happened quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it was all for the good.
Yeah. Going back, would you make relatively the same choices?
Sure, I think I would have. I don't think I would have done anything different.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody calls and they need help, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Wow. And you also work with the Santa Fe School District for 25 years.
I do. Actually, I'm in my 26th year there. I work in a technology department. There's a whole lot of technology out there, and I enjoy that. In fact, I just this month is actually 1 year that I've been in the technology department. I worked the other 25 years in the maintenance department.
Mm-hmm. Which one do you prefer?
Well, my supervisor asks me all the time if I would rather be back digging ditches. And I'm like, nah, I'm good over here in technology. Like I said earlier, I found out that you can teach an old dog new tricks, and I'm learning some stuff that's all new, and I think it's great. It's something different, and I'm still keeping up my electrical skills, but there's a whole lot of new stuff out there, and I'm learning it.
Yeah. Did you volunteer for that spot? Was it open and you were like, I think I could do that? And then
No, I didn't. My work partner that I work with asked me if I thought I would be interested in it. So I said, let me see what it all entails. And so I had to apply for the job.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through an interview. I sat in the interview, and I told him, I said, if it looks like I'm nervous, I am, because I haven't interviewed in 25 years.
I've been with you guys.
Yeah. So, I had to go through the interview process and everything, but it's great. It's turned out to be a really good thing.
And how long have you been moved to the technology side now?
I've been there for a year this month.
All right.
A year this month.
All right.
I do a lot with the security cameras.
Mm-hmm.
The door access. We all have badges, and we have to badge in the doors, and I work on that stuff. There's a lot to it. A lot of telephones. You don't just plug a telephone in nowadays and it starts working.
Mm-mm.
It's actually a little small computer. You got to program and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all new stuff to me, but it's going good.
Yeah, being moved into this technology department at Santa Fe ISD, I mean, is it a lot more than it looks like from the outside, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, there's more to it than what people think. Like I said a while ago, it's, you don't just plug a phone in and it works anymore. A phone is a small computer. A phone has an IP address to it. A phone has a MAC address assigned to it. Once you plug it in, you got to assign it to that person, and so there's quite a bit to it that people don't realize happens.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and go back on the FM. We can remind everybody about the event taking place this Saturday, and we'll be able to chat for a bit more. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this video out. Maybe share it into a Facebook group. You can also ask a question, or if there's anything else you'd like to know more about, feel free to let me know. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now, it is 9:46 a.m. on a Monday morning. This is KHEARadio.com, and we are excited. We have Joel Summerall here in studio talking about Santa Fe Fire and Rescue. Joel, how you doing this morning?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're here. We're talking about a lot of things that are related with Santa Fe. First, I got to say thank you to the fire department and the ISD for letting you come in and share about these cool things.
You bet.
You know, we went and filmed a volleyball game. It was Santa Fe versus Texas City the other day. It was in Texas City. Santa Fe won. You know, it was a big district game. I think there was it was over 8,000 views on it, which was pretty cool because it was our second time to do a live high school sport.
Right.
But a lot of people in Santa Fe were excited about it. A lot of people in the area are excited about it. But
yeah. The volleyball program has always been a big, thriving program in Santa Fe, along with baseball, softball,
football.
Yeah. You know, so
yeah.
Volleyball is they're really proud of what they do, and what they do it well.
Yeah, I think it's the community. The Santa Fe community just comes together and it supports itself and surrounding communities.
Santa Fe community does come together. You know, Santa Fe community likes to take care of each other. You know, when something comes up, the community always comes together and seems to be able to take care of each other.
Mm-hmm. That's true for sure. So, Joel, the event taking place on Saturday, what time does it start and what is it? And how can I get involved? How can people get involved?
So Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, we'll be on Highway 6 in front of the old gym. If you're from Santa Fe watching or listening, in front of the Alamo. Everybody knows the Alamo. From 10 to 3, we're going to have a Fill the Fire Truck food drive. And our food drive, we collect canned goods, non-perishable food items. We collect that, and we give that out to families in our community who are a little less fortunate than others. And it's a way that everyone can give back to others. It just kind of funnels through us, and it goes right back out to everyone else.
Yeah, it's not easy to ask for help all the time. And in this case, you know, you don't necessarily have to.
Yeah. You know, it's a kind of deal where we put it out there and we do a little bit of the legwork for it, but we sit down there, little camaraderie amongst us. We sit there and we might discuss what's happening in the news. We might just discuss what's happening around the world, and we wait for the community to come through and drop off their canned goods. Once they drop all that off that day, we take those canned goods and we sort through them, we categorize them, and then we start getting them ready to box up for the families in our community.
Mm-hmm. And then Elite Care is helping out this year as well.
Yeah, Elite Care has stepped up. They agreed to match us can for can. So we're really expecting a big time this year.
Mm-hmm.
Elite Care actually came to us. We didn't go to them.
Wow.
They came to us and said, hey, we want to do something. We want to match y'all can for can. Whatever you bring in, we want to match it.
That's awesome.
So we said, you know what? Here we go. Let's do it.
Yeah, this says a lot about a business that's going out and looking for opportunities to give back to the community.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a big thing that they're going to do that. They've even sponsored a few events in other places.
Mm-hmm.
They've sponsored some stuff for us there at the school district. Yeah, they're really stepping up, and we're hoping that we can really make a dent in things.
Yeah.
And, bring in some items for the families.
Yeah. This is random, but I think Elite Care sponsors the weather for I-45 now. Which, have you seen any of that? I appreciate it. It's like local weather, and it's straight to social media.
You know, I have not seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I do see I-45 now. I don't watch it, as much, and I haven't seen the weather. But I wouldn't doubt that that they're not doing that. They're really great. They're really great.
Yeah, it's great for our community. Is there anything else that we have not touched on that we need to bring up or maybe touch on again?
No, like I said, it's Saturday from 10 to 3. We'll be there on the highway. You'll see the fire trucks out there. Bring the kiddos by. They can look at the trucks. They can look at everything there. Talk to the firemen. Look at all the cool tools. Drop off a few canned goods. If you drop off one canned good, if you drop off one case of canned goods, just bring it back. Be assured to know that whatever you bring is going to go right back out into the community.
Joel, with you being a Santa Fe Fire and Rescue firefighter for 33 years, have you had the opportunity to see any young kids that maybe you met, 30 years ago, and then it's like now they're serving side by side with you?
No, not really. Well, I say I haven't. There was I may have been a firefighter with their fathers, and then I've seen their kids come up. The fire chief, his son is actually one of our chiefs also, and I've seen him grow up in the fire service. We have a family friend, and I've seen his son come up through over the years, and that's what he wanted to do, and so he's one of us.
That's cool.
And so yeah, that's I guess there is there's a couple there that I have seen come up from whenever they were younger up through the years.
All right. Hey, well, thank you for hanging out today, Joel.
You bet.
I
enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, for helping bring this event to our attention. Shout out to Santa Fe Water Services, and thank you, Chris, as well for serving as a firefighter, and everybody else, and your crew and the team, and for all you do. I mean, even working at the ISD, like just giving back, giving back and giving back.
You bet. I enjoy it there.
This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. All right. Hey, we got a short show today. Just 1 hour. But y'all be blessed, and go Astros. They play tomorrow, so root them on. Feel free to share this out. Even still, or if you have any questions, and if you ask them on this feed, then we'll be able to get an answer to you. So y'all have a good day.